So, were you prepared for the pandemic? Absolutely not. Nobody was prepared for the pandemic or the trauma that followed. And when I say trauma, I mean families in disrepair, businesses in disrepair, the entire economy collapsing. It started to build back up, but still hasn't got back to where it once was. And today, being early January, uncertainty is everywhere. And the big question is, are you prepared for what's next? Business in 2021 and beyond is going to require, the first thing it's going to require is rapid business scaling, getting your business back to the place where you want it to be in the most efficient and rapid manner possible. It's going to require maintaining the owner's sanity because we've seen a lot of people who have gone literally crazy in the last year trying to figure out what's next. We're going to need to recapture the owner's time. We're going to need to remove income ceiling ideas, which a lot of folks have started to establish, saying, well, maybe this is the best I can do. We're going to need to start implementing business systems, and we're going to need to have less owner involvement. All of these things are going to be critical from this year going forward. And a premium now has been placed on the speed of results. No one knows when the next business interruption is going to happen. We just know what's going to happen. We don't know if it's going to be in 1 month, 1 year, 10 years. We don't know. And there's a lot of folks out there that are functioning in a business slowdown, and they've never dealt with that. They've never really experienced it. They've experienced little slowdowns, but nothing like we've seen. So the question that you should be asking yourself is, when it happens, are you going to be prepared? Now, when you started your business, a lot of folks thought the sky was the limit for so many things: income, time off, vacations, and many other things. They thought they were going to have it all, the quote unquote American dream. Well, what changed? Well, as you went along, you started to get comfortable and complacent. And you thought, well, I could do this right now, but why don't I do it later? It's not that important to do it today. There's always going to be tomorrow, mañana, vacation, a lot of other things got in the way. Well, you know what? It's now time to reimagine what's possible because it's now important. And in fact, it's more important than it's ever been. Without even trying, you personally developed a system to drive to your business and then another system to drive home. You also developed a system for how you'd get dressed in the morning, how you'd get your children ready if you have to do that, how to service the car, what day you were going to mow the lawn. You even developed a system for what day to take the garbage to the street. Well, the time has now come to develop a reliable system to run your business when you aren't there. My name is Dr. Steve Clausen. I've been doing business development consulting for a little bit more than 29 years, and I got into that after running my own very successful chiropractic practice for 11 years. I'm also a serial entrepreneur. So far, I've started 9 businesses and sold them all with the exception of my current marketing business. So I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm a 3-time published author. It always amazed me. People really wanted to know what I had to say. I have worked personally in over 150 different industry categories, and I have right now over 100 written testimonials from people that I've worked with. I am a retired chiropractor, and at one point in time, my practice was in the top 1% of practices nationwide, and we did not advertise. And a lot of folks were hoping for a happy ever after when they started their business. And the question I like to ask is, are you after a happy ever after or a happy ever now? I mean, you got to decide. And a lot of folks are hoping for a happy ever after. But as we've seen, hope is not a strategy. And happy ever after may never arrive. Happy ever now is happening today. Now, your now is happening. Maybe it's not so happy. Well, we need to discover how to make it happy. In fact, I like the term happy ever now so much that I actually bought the domain name. I still have it today because it just appealed to me because it's what people want. Nobody wants delayed gratification after 35 years of being in business. They want to be happy today, and it is possible. And paying attention to the steps that get you there, this is what's going to matter to you. A myth alert ahead. I've read that you've got to work hard and you've got to work long hours and you've got to get hustle and you've got to sacrifice and many other things. Well, I learned that hard work isn't the answer. I worked my butt off and sometimes it didn't happen. More hours aren't the answer. Well, I spent a year at over 100 hours a week, and no, that's not an exaggeration. More hustle isn't the answer. Well, when you work 100 hours a week, you don't have the energy to hustle. I learned that. And more sacrifice isn't the answer. I don't mind sacrificing, but my loved ones, it turned out they didn't like sacrificing. And in 1988, I had a consultant who advised me literally to dedicate 100 hours every week to my new business. Good advice if you want to end up divorced and seldom see your children. A lot of folks out there can relate because I've worked with people that they leave their home before their children get up, and when they get home, their children have already gone to bed. One of the 2 days of the weekend they want to play golf. One day is set aside for family, and most people did not decide to have children to see them one day a week. I knew I didn't, and I knew there had to be a better way. In 1990, I learned how to work on and not just in my business. I learned what I should be doing and how I'd know if it was working. I learned about systems and how to build a lean, hungry, and effective team. Now, in my chiropractic office, we were seeing 300 people a week with 2.5 staff members, and we only saw people 21 hours a week. We had a lean, hungry, and effective team, and that's the only way it worked. Now, in 1990, I invested a little bit more than a year. I got a lifetime return on that investment. I also got my kids back. These are my children. The little girl's name is Zoe, and she's the light of my life. And the little boy is named Kyle, and he's also an entrepreneur. 29 years, 146 plus business categories. It's actually over 150 now. And success. I've helped in every category I've worked in. I can help you too. We're going to use the 3 keys to your immediate success. The first one is finding and capturing hidden revenue. The second one is planning to invest in growth. The third one is creating and implementing smart systems, not just systems, but smart systems. I hear people say this, that revenue is in here somewhere. I just don't know where to look. Well, we do, and we promise to find it. In fact, what if I told you I could find at least $45,000 in undiscovered revenue in your business right now? What if I followed that promise up with a $1,000 cash guarantee I could find it and show you how to get it? And you know what? I'm going to tell you, I'm hedging my bets here. I've never lost that $1,000 because I've always found that. And to date, the most I found in a business that was leveraged was over $150,000. They didn't even know it was there, and they certainly didn't know how to get it. Once we find your money, we're going to spend it wisely. Now ask yourself, do you want a new car or more customers? Do you want a vacation? Or do you want to train your staff so you can take that vacation without having to call your staff? Do you want a new wardrobe or additional sales? I don't know about you. I can be threadbare if I'm making money. Are you more interested in your short-term wants or your long-term happiness? Well, once I sit with someone for a little while, they become very focused on their long-term happiness because we develop a plan, a system, a way to actually get there. Systems are predictable, and they run everything that we've come to rely on. Your company can use systems to increase profits and produce sales you can rely on. Now, when I was a little kid, we actually had locomotives. I grew up in San Bernardino, and there were locomotives there. And I could never figure out how the gearing on a locomotive worked. Well, I asked my father, and he showed it to me. And this is a picture of that. And they've designed this in such a manner that it works. And all it is a system. It's a system of pulleys. Well, your business is a system too. We can set it up to where it functions like a system and delivers money to you like a system. Now, how much time should you spend working on your business? What should you be working on in your business? And what is your zone of personal genius? Well, for everybody, this is different. Now, I will tell you, I function a lot in the construction trades and I do quite a bit of work with professional services, accountants, personal injury lawyers, estate planning attorneys, and that sort of thing. Well, it's different for them, but we know what we should be working on. And once we start coaching that, we start moving in that direction, it moves a lot of levers and you start making money. And it's at that point in time we can figure out what your zone of personal genius is. Well, it's different than a lot of folks anticipate. And once we discover that, you put away some of the other things that we can hire out to do really inexpensively. You function in your personal zone of genius, and then you go home and you spend time with your family. So basically, what does working in and working on your business actually mean? And most people don't know. And that's a shame. And that costs them money, that costs them happiness, and that costs them time with their family. You know, you have the chance to create a business worth owning and can have a business worth selling when you're ready and on your terms. That's pretty much why people get into business. The day will come, you're going to wake up. Maybe you're an empty nester. Maybe your kids are teenagers and you've got enough money in the bank and you want to spend the last couple of years that they're at home focusing on them. You want to be around when they get home from school. You want to take them from school, coach them in different sports, that sort of thing. You can do that as well. And you know, with our system, we can virtually promise to help you create the result you and your family are after. Now, if this sounds intriguing to you, you can book your no cost, no obligation call at calendly.com/Stephen Clausen. It's going to lead you to a link that's going to show Business Blueprint. Please click on that. Leave me the little bit of information that I'm asking for. We will talk for 45 minutes. The entire conversation will be on me, but the entire conversation will be about you. I will deliver at least 3 things that you can do immediately to generate increased money and increased revenue in your business. And I can also, if you're interested, and only if you're interested, show you what it looks like for you to work with me and my team. It's a lot of fun and it's very profitable. So if this sounds like a fit for you, if this sounds like something you're interested in, please book. I'm going to click to the last page, which will show you my additional contact information. I appreciate you listening. Have a profitable day.